how this county government functions. So one of the things I said when I got elected was that I was going to, we're coming in to shake it up. We're coming to open the process. And we're coming also to learn how does the county government work. The only time we know about county government is if you're going to the courthouse, or if you've got child support, or if jobs and family services, or if you got to pay your property taxes. But we don't know about all these other services. And so one of the issues in this veteran service, I'm glad that the article and the news report came out, but I also wonder, it's been around for over 100 years, and how long has this been going on? The report came out that veteran services are set up in the state law. And in the state law, it says each county would have, I believe, a veteran services. And then there's a portion of how much they can ask for. Now, this is an independent board. So we're dealing with another independent board because that we're looking at government now. You elect the elected officials. And what has happened is once you elect the elected officials, there's a movement to strip away the power of the elected officials and give it to unelected boards that you can't vote in or vote out. And then you have the elected officials standing there and you say, I got to blame somebody. And then you go to the elected officials. So one of the things we're learning, everybody on we're teaching, because one of the things I want to do is be a lecturer, a teacher of how the government is set up. You can't change the system unless you know the system. So I'm trying to teach so that more citizens, everyday citizens, the people that y'all voted for me, you understand how this thing is set up. So this is an independent board set up by state law called the Veteran Services Commission. And in there, it says that the counties must give up to a certain amount, a percentage amount of the budget to them. So I think this commission could request, several $1,000,000 if they wanted it to help veterans. They have their own board, and their board is appointed by the Court of Common Pleas, not by the county commission. However, we found out this week that the county commission could get some board appointments if we would give 10% more funding than whatever we gave last year. Now, as the administrator, because I wanted to understand how this works, I tell them, don't come bring me something and want me to rubber stamp it and run along. When I first got elected in my first budget, and remember, the county commissioners, we can't talk to each other. So I can't pick up the phone and call Dumas. I can't pick up the phone and call Driehaus. The administrator has the power because he can go to each of us, and I don't know what he's saying, and they don't know what he's saying to me. I asked him when I first got elected, hey, I want to give more money to the veterans. And he told me, so does your other colleagues. But he said, the executive director of the Veteran Services is independent. That person works for his board, and that he said he will not accept additional money. So, I'm new. I'm coming in. I said, well, dang, he's over the military. I mean, he's a veteran. He should want as much for veterans. Maybe they know more than I know. So I went on about my business. So now we find out later down the road that this Veteran Services Commission has been around forever, and they've been getting the bare minimum to our veterans. Butler County, our veterans got to run to Butler County to try to get help. They're giving more money, helping more veterans than we are, and we got the most veterans in this area. We got more than Butler, we got more than Warren, we got 40,000 veterans. 40,000 veterans. And our veteran services are spending less. So when this article came out, I said, I want the Veteran Services Commission to come before the board. The administrator said, well, we can ask them, but they're independent. I said, independent of us? Yes. I said, well, what about our budget? All we do is pass through what they ask for. I said, listen, I want you to send them in writing asking for them. My colleagues admitted that since they've been there, they've never seen them. These folks have never had to come before the Board of County Commissioners. So this might have been the first time in history. We know it's the first time in over a decade. So finally, they said, we can't make this date. I said, send them the following week. They got to come over here. So all of the publicity and stuff, they ended up coming over here. For the first time in over a decade, or maybe the first time in history, because they said they're what? Independent. They do their own thing. So anyway, they come over on Thursday, yesterday, and we asked them for the first time, the Board of Commissioners was able to ask questions directly. And we asked some tough questions. We wanted to know, why did you ask for the lowest amount of money? Couldn't answer. They claimed, well, this is all that's needed. We asked them, why did you, and let me say, they didn't get 31 million and then they sent back 31 million. I think it was they had eligible up to 31 million over so many years. I mean, years before I even was down there. But they never requested. They always went low ball. And when they went low ball, even with the low ball, they sent some few little dollars back. But they never went for the highest amount. Now remember, I got there and I asked the administrator, I want to do more. What did the administrator tell me? They're independent and they're not going to accept it. And he was the only one talking to him. We couldn't even talk to him. So when you look at how much money they gave, here's some things that they were supposed to help. This is additional to the VA. The VA is federal. This Veterans Services Commission is state through what? The county. So here's some of the things that I thought was alarming. So they came over there and gave us their minutes this week. Now I'm meeting with them this week. They come up with a stack. Here's our minutes. We'll show you. Thinking we're not going to read. But when we read it, I saw that $0 for glasses. They could help veterans with glasses. They gave $0. And we had money to do it. When you look at, in 1 year, they did give money for glasses, but guess how much it was? 2022, they gave $70. $70. And the rest of the year is $0. They could help with pharmacy according to their paperwork. I got on there, $0. That's what they gave me for pharmacy. $0, y'all. Then they can help veterans with utilities. Now, y'all know Duke Energy is going up, right? It's going up. Been going up. They've only given $2,000 to help with utility bills. Now, you know I know some veterans out here that need some help paying their gas and electric bill more than $2,000 worth of bills. Then they can help you with rent. They can help you with rent. You get behind those kind of things. They've got a rental assistance program. They only gave $14,000. Now we got 40,000 veterans. You can't tell me that we only got $14,000 worth of help with the rent. Come on now. Come on. Let's be real. And we're up here helping 400 veterans, 379 veterans. I think the largest was 1,000 out of 40,000 veterans. The veterans said they didn't even know this was available. Didn't even know it was available. Transportation. Butler County has a van. They got vans that said veterans. They're picking up their veterans and they're taking their veterans first class service to doctor's appointments and other appointments. We up here giving out bus passes where the person got to get on the bus to get a transfer and then transfer over here. Then you got to walk because not every bus stop is in front of the places they need to go. And guess what? We spent, how much money did we spend on transportation? I got to find it. Don't have my glasses on here, but it's going to be $320. Come on now. 300. They got vans in Butler County. We got $300 in bus passes. Come on, let's get real. Medical pay. They can pay for some of the medical outside of the VA, right? Because the VA, you got to have a certain, Teresa Kent was explaining to me, disabled veteran, you got to be at 50% or 100% to get this kind of federal help. But that's why the Veterans Services Commission is supposed to be the stopgap, to help stopgap. When you first come home, you may not be at 50 or 100%. It takes time and paperwork and those kind of things. And she said when she came home, before she got her job at the post office, they just left her out here trying to figure it out. She never knew about no veteran services that can help her be the stopgap until she can connect after coming back home. Guess what we spending on medical pay, y'all? $400. Now they can request up to a couple $1 million. They come and request less and then give the people less. And then the lady gonna stand to me and ask me, the lady that got the money. We done gave her the money. She's the administrator. She's the paperwork person. She's the first person that you call that people say got a nasty attitude. She's the person that you're going to come to. And she wants to ask me the questions. We done gave you the money and you asked me where the money is. And you the one spending the money. The audacity. The audacity. Because why? We're independent. Nobody can vote us out. Nobody can question us. We're independent. But then when the problem comes, here come all the media. County commissioners, what are you going to do? We need to put out, they're independent. But guess what? In the midst of all of this, only helping a couple hundred veterans, only a couple hundred been helped. Not spending all the money. Giving $0 for glasses. Only $400 for medical pay. Utilities, only spending $2,173. $300 on transportation. Only $14,000 on rent. Right? Answering the phones and being nasty. Not marketing. Only spending a few dollars. Their marketing is on a website. Butler County is advertising on radio. We should be advertising on radio, on television. Butler County even got advertising in our stadium. Paycor Stadium got big advertisement on the digital board. Hey, veterans, come see Butler County if you need help. But no mention of Hamilton County, and we in the Hamilton County taxpayer-owned stadium. Facebook, text messaging, none of it. None of it. We ain't reaching out doing nothing. And the person who's sitting there writing these checks, keeping these minutes, keeping the paperwork, sending a couple dollars back, only requesting a fourth of what they could request, and they got the audacity to come to me and ask the board some questions. And by the way, we ain't seen you since you put on the veteran services. At least a decade. We summoned you to the meeting. And then you gonna come to me and gonna question us. The audacity. If you doing that to us, I know how you treating these veterans. But we had to straighten her out. I straightened her out. No, we asking the questions. We gave you the money. I want to know why you only spent $400 for medical, $320 for transportation, and we own buses. Why don't we have vans? Why aren't we marketing? Why aren't we? We got 40,000 veterans. How come you haven't serviced even 10% of that? No, we got the questions now. So wanted to update you on that's what happened for Veterans Day. It's more than us. We're gonna, of course, we've lit up the buildings and all that, but we need to help these veterans. And I said, there's 3 people you don't mess with. It's gonna get me kind of angry. If you mess with our senior citizens, you mess with our babies, and you mess with the veterans. Now that's when I get angry. So what is the solution? Well, they're making some changes over there because people have, the light is shining on them. But I'm looking at them being an independent board that don't have to really answer to really nobody. So what I've asked the administrator, we need all information. Don't sit there quiet. I ain't answering nothing unless you can ask the right question. How am I asking the right question? And we just got down here. Y'all had it for 150 years. You've been here for over 20-something years. I ain't been here. This is only my 3rd year. You want me to ask the right question. No, I want you to give me the full picture. I asked you who makes the appointments. You said comment please, but never told me, well, Mr. Reece, President Reece, but if we give 10% more, we will be able to make appointments. You never brought it up. You waited till the veteran came down there on the cane and he said it. And then when I asked you, you said, oh yeah, that's right. Number 2, they want to know where the money is. You've been here 20 years. I want to know where the money is at. And we as a board members was asking, and he went to, why would you show up to the meeting without the numbers? You didn't bring the budget director, and you didn't. And the budget director was right in the office right behind us. You get up, tell them to get in here. This is an important question. What have y'all been doing? And one of the things I put a piece of legislation forward, I hope we'll have it voted on, is number 1, I want to have under our board, I want to create an Office of Veterans Affairs. Just like we have an Office of Women and Commission of Women on Girls, we got an Office of Small Business. We have an Office of Economic Inclusion. We have an Office of Youth. I want an Office of Veterans Affairs. Now, what would that do? We would have it'd be a one-person office. We would have an ombudsman, the county veteran ombudsman. That person would be running that office. We would put money toward marketing the services, paid advertisement, going to events, and that person will be responsible to be the connector and liaison between us, where the taxpayer money is, and veteran services. So no more, we don't know what they're doing. That person will also be a first stop to help walk a person through if they had to walk a person through over there, and then request a report of how many people have we helped. In addition, my goal is to put additional funding toward the veteran services, because we got the least amount of money that we've been given. We got the most amount of veterans, but I want to trigger to the point where we can make appointments to that board. So that's 10% more. The third thing that I would like is that we as a county, we don't have any major countywide event for veterans. I tried to do one, not knowing this was coming. I was going to have one at the library, Congressman Landsman's on the veteran services. So I said, this will be good. I didn't know all this was going on. And the administrator, he was upset, and I don't know, and how would that be marketed? And if your name is on it, my name is on 212,000 people said my name should be on something, right? If your name is on it, and if we do it, and he gave me a lot, but I see why he gave me a lot. He knew this thing was getting ready to hit. I didn't know it was getting ready to hit. So I thank God for it, because what somebody makes for bad, we're going to make for good. So my thing now is go bigger. I was just going to be at the library. We're now going to Paycor Stadium. I want an event at Paycor Stadium, the NFL Stadium, annual event, the Hamilton County's first ever annual Veterans Appreciation and Resource Fair. And we'll have the people there. You can take the applications right on the spot. We'll have the people there with housing. We'll have the people there with food. We'll have the people there that can take stuff on the spot. I want to see some people get some doctors out there doing some eye exams on the spot. Bring the family at Paycor Stadium, owned by Hamilton County, and do it during the off season when the Bengals are not practicing, when they're not in town, and when the building is sitting empty. In our lease, it says we're supposed to have 3 community days. Let's make one of our community days for the veterans. So that's what I'm putting forward. And then the week after Thanksgiving, we should have a resolution on how we're going to hopefully implement those things I just talked about and straighten up this Veterans Services Commission. So I wanted to tell you that. They could have hired more people. Now they keep it, they 3 little people with everything. And let me just say, also I caught, and luckily I didn't say it yesterday, I should have, but I didn't catch it till yesterday. In their report, the lady that jumped up and hollering and trying to ask me questions, right, is the same lady. By the way, y'all, everybody there got a 4% raise. They got a raise, but the veterans is down here at $0 for glasses, $320 for transportation on a bus, only $2,179 for their utility bills, only $400 y'all spent for medical pay. This is crazy. $0 for pharmacy. You only spent $14,000 to help veterans with their rent, but you made sure you got a raise. 4% raise. You made sure you got that on the dotted line. So when you start talking about where is the money, I'm asking the questions. Where is the money? You got a raise, but didn't raise the amount of veterans that you can help. 40,000, and we haven't helped even 10% of them. It's a shame, but it's going to stop. So if I got anything to do with it, it's going to stop. I'm going to fight. So I just wanted to let y'all know on Veterans Day, we appreciate your service, but we fighting for you to get some service when you return home, right here to America, to Ohio, and to, more importantly, Hamilton County. So that's the update on the veterans. Shout out to all of you, and we will continue to fight for you. So I want to thank everybody tuning in on 103.1 FM, 1050 AM. Y'all been tuning in. I appreciate it. We got OZ Davis. Thank you for checking in online. Yeah, OZ, the audacity. Gonna walk in there. I got something to say, and you know you done got a 4% raise. You know you ain't helped. You haven't even helped 10% of the veterans, and you got something to say. Really? Renee, thank you for checking in. Let's see. Carmen said, wow, unbelievable. Yes. Yeah, somebody said they want a forensic audit, so we're going to be doing all that as well. I think they spent the money properly. The problem is they didn't spend the money. That's the new thing. They didn't help nobody. They didn't help nobody. But I do want zip codes. How many people you helped? Who have you helped? Because we got a big event that the money lady used to do, and I thought it was going to happen this year. I'm sorry it's not happening. She does it at New Prospect Baptist Church, and it was the first time I ever seen a lot of the African American veterans. And I was told that she was unable to do it this year. But we should have grants available to do this. Come on. We thank you for your service, but it's time for us to give some service back to the veterans. All right, everybody. Let's see if my engineer is here still. Get the music going. I've got on my... Get the music going. We're going to get ready to go to break. I've got on my Grambling State. When y'all see this G, y'all be talking about Green Bay. Are you crazy? The original G is Grambling State University. And I've got my Miss Grambling State University stuff on. When we come back, we're going to talk about HBCU and this major event that happens right here in Hamilton County. So all HBCUs, all sororities and fraternities, all people who wanted to go to a HBCU, y'all tune in. We got something coming for you right after this.
Thank you. That was a good introduction.
The words that describe my father is from the bottom up because nobody gave me. She can come in if she wants to.
Oh,
right. She want to come in? She can. Go ahead. Just sit and spray. Quiet. Is it this one? Yes. Mic 3. And then your headsets. Be quiet. Can you hear?
Okay.
Okay.
This
way. Okay, we are back. Alicia Reece Soul Food, Food for the Soul. It's Veterans Weekend. You know, they got it today, but Veterans Day is actually tomorrow, but it's the whole weekend. And I do want to give a shout out. I know those who listen to us on Saturday replay. Shout out to my nieces, the twins. Gosh, they're going to be 14 years old. Oh, my goodness. They're already too grown for me. They don't want the hugs and the kisses. And, you know, I used to run after the yellow bus when on first day of school. They said I embarrassed them. But they'll be 14 years old, Tania and Tiara. So I want to give a big shout out to them. They've been doing good too. Their grades are good. They're playing sports and cheerleading and basketball and flag football. I tell you, I mean, aunties out there, I mean, we put in a lot of money on this sports. So that's why I'm so big about sports. Our family is big in sports and education. Now, we've got a major event coming up with HBCUs, but I want to set the right tone of why we're so excited about this. When I was growing up, my father was heavily involved in sports, heavily involved. Women's Sports Hall of Fame. It was called the Communiplex Women's Sports Hall of Fame. He was friends with Wilma Rudolph. He brought Tennessee to town. But before he did that, he started with HBCU. So he brought the basketball classic to the Cincinnati Gardens, which is no longer up anymore now, but it's a big deal. Oscar the Big O played at Cincinnati Gardens. And so I was in, I think, high school or getting ready to go to high school. And he had Central State, Kentucky State, he had Morgan State, and they had all the way from Woodward High School, the bands and the parade. We parade down there. And growing up, my sister, my brother, and myself, we had to volunteer. You know, it was just, it's in the family, you know, it's no choice. You know, we volunteered. So we were volunteering, but just being able to see our parents put something like this together and they brought a lot of coaches, then they had some local high schools playing. So coaches could see our players, our band members, translated to scholarships. And then my father wanted to do ESPN before ESPN. And he had satellite games. He did the home games of Central State. Then he went on to do UC women's home games. So sports is in our blood. And I'm just so excited to see the next iteration of this with the HBCU experience. And so in the studio, this is the third annual. In the studio, we've got the founder.
Yes.
And so I want to turn your mic on.
Okay.
Let me see. Is that right? I'm on 3. I can barely hear. Say hello.
Hello, people.
Can you hear him? Because I can't hear him in mine.
He said he can hear
Maybe okay, as long as you can hear him, I'll turn my my speakers up. Okay. So first of all, I want you to tell everybody your name.
Yes.
And we start with the story before the glory. We don't want to get right to the event. I want the people to know who you are.
Okay. My name is Dante Payne. This is the 3rd year for the HBCU Classic. Going back, when I met your dad, I knew your dad, but when I met him at Wing Champs, we was doing the podcast with Ozzy Davis, and we was talking about it. He pulled me to the side, put his food down and everything. He said, "I'll holler at you, young man." And he gave me the history behind everything. And, I was like, wow. I used to come to the games with my dad because I even seen the Big O play at the Gardens, but I never knew, who was behind the HBCU Classic, everything and all that. So when he told me, it kind of like sent chills through my body. So that's why it was only right last year that I honored him with the Icon Award.
Yeah, he's very happy with that, because a lot of times when you do something and keep it going for a while, but then you don't, you move on.
Right.
You wanted to keep going, so he was so excited to meet you and to know that you were taking this mantle and getting it going again. So he was very, very proud. He was very proud of you.
And even for me, like, even though I didn't attend the HBCU school, but both my daughters did, because I had custody of my daughters since they was like 5 and 7. So all I knew was, okay, I got girls, but I don't know nothing. Let me just raise them through sports. At least I know that.
Gotcha.
So they both came up playing basketball at Winton Woods High School. That's why it's at Winton Woods High School. Both of them, one played in college, the other one didn't. So one goes to Lane, but she did pledge. She's a Zeta, so now she's my daughter, she's my sister.
So you're at a Sigma?
All day.
I'm fucking. Well, first of all, okay, let me go back. We're going so fast about this. We got the part about you meeting Dr. Reece.
Yes.
And shout out Ozzy's watching us. But let's get to, you raised your daughters, and they went to Winton Woods. You raised them through sports.
Yes.
And then what college did they go?
One goes to Lane College down in Jackson, Tennessee, and the other one goes to Fisk.
Okay, all right.
Nashville.
Wow.
So when I first put on the classic, my youngest daughter, Alicia Payne, was playing for Fisk, and Derek, who was the coach at Wilberforce, they was going to play against each other, and he recruited. Both schools recruited my daughter. She just chose Fisk over Wilberforce,
Yeah.
and this happened kind of like during COVID.
Yes.
So the schools was kind of like shut down. But I talked to Mr. Martin, and they allowed us to do the classic there because it was supposed to be at Wilberforce, but no one was going to come there but me and my family. So I said, Derek, let's start a classic like we used to have back in the day, and build around it, and that would help your recruiting in Cincinnati also. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Right. And
now, what school did you go to?
I went to Robert Morris.
Okay.
Yes, I played football at Robert Morris.
And okay, what high school?
High school, I went to Cape.
Cape, oh my God, the Cape Crusaders.
Of course, it's always a Crusader.
I got to hear all about the Cape Crusaders. I said, what happened to the Cape Crusaders? What is?
They shut us down. For some reason, we was winning though. I think we was the last CPS school to win state in football. It's been a long time ago. Since like '93.
Cincinnati Public, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. I just want to put that out there.
I know. I got to hear all the Cape. I'm gonna hear about this. I'm gonna hear about this from the Cape Crusaders.
But even with the classic, your dad even told me, he said, okay, don't move it until it needs to be moved, but build on it. So that's when I started having the college fair. We have like 20 colleges coming this year. Then he said, what about the local people? Have a vendor fair. He said you should you should also incorporate, the bands, the cheerleaders, the dance team. So like this year, I'm giving you all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Last year it was pretty tight too. You had the band and cheerleaders, and it was good to see a lot of people. A lot of people with the Wilberforce, was walking in there. So you said, okay, your daughter, you have a base, Winton Woods, and Winton Woods has a great facility. I mean, the facility is great.
It's perfect because, like, before you can get to anything, you got to come through that hallway.
Yeah.
So all the vendors there are seen first.
Yeah.
So it just makes total sense. And then this year they let me get the middle school gym. So we got the college fair first. Then I got my sponsors that's, helping out with a lot of stuff and donating a lot. And then I got my vendors that's like selling merchandise and all that in the gym. And I got vendors coming from like Chicago.
Wow.
Detroit coming down. Detroit coming thick.
Detroit as vendors?
Yes.
Oh, they got some stuff. Boy, they got some jewelry and outfits that you won't see nobody in. Detroit comes clean.
Right. And I also built around it even a little more besides the games. People was coming to town like, well, Dante, what we gonna do Friday? Okay, now I got a comedy show with it.
Oh, you got a comedy show. Okay, tell us about what's the lineup.
So the comedy show is my guy Smokey Suarez out of New York, Harlem, New York. He was in all the movies back in the day with Kevin Hart before he blew up.
Wow.
And I've been rocking with him for a few years. We have Dusty Lewis over here from Kentucky. He's hosting it. I got a lot of local comedians, trying to get them some shine and some spotlight. Jamie J, Funny Man, Miko coming from Columbus. So, just trying to...
So that's on November 24th. So this is Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
November 24th, you kick off with a comedy show. Where is the comedy show?
It's at Royal Rose Lounge. You should be Suite 31 on Hamilton Avenue.
Okay. And give the address because I don't have my glasses.
Myself.
Can you read this? I'm sorry, y'all. Shout out to my eye doctor, Dr. Melvin.
Royal Rose Lounge is 8021 Hamilton Avenue.
Okay.
So
that'll be Monday. That'll be Friday. Friday, you got the comedy show.
Yes.
And then Saturday
are the games. Saturday and Sunday, because we expanded it. A
Oh,
lot of
2
schools
days.
was like, well, Dante, we ain't gonna come for one day. I'm like, oh, that do make sense. Especially Russ coming from Mississippi.
Okay, so are they playing 2 games?
Yes.
Okay, so they're getting 2 games.
2 days worth of games.
Okay, now let's highlight who is coming to play in the HBCU experience.
Okay, you got Russ College, you got Wilberforce.
Russ College, Wilberforce.
I even incorporated Don.
Don Community School?
Yes,
okay,
even
Don.
though it's not HBCU, but it's still that type of feel and presence.
Okay, so is this high school?
No, that's the prep side.
Oh, the prep side. Okay,
Yes.
so they get to play college players?
No, they playing against another prep school.
Another prep school.
Which is Southwest Ohio.
Southwest Ohio prep plays
now,
Don.
I did incorporate high school this year. I incorporated Clark Montessori and Western Hills High School, where I'm a
Clark Montessori and Western Hills High School. We're not gonna hold all these things against you. I mean, you got Cape, Withrow Tiger. You're going, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna hold all these things and get. I'm just
Virgo,
kidding.
but
I'm just
hey.
kidding. I'm messing with you. But that's good. Public schools, Western Hills, Clark Montessori, and then who else you got?
Okay, I have a school coming from Canada.
Canada's in the house.
It's another prep school. They heard about it, and the thing is, my vision. You got the high school teams, you got the prep schools, and then you have the college teams. And you was kind of saying it earlier. So the prep schools and the college teams can watch the high school.
Right.
So it's just a transition.
And then it's good. The college is already there, and they get to change.
Right.
You know,
and it's kind of they can recruit.
And it's really hard for HBCUs to recruit. I mean,
yes.
They don't have the budgets.
Right.
I played for Grambling State University. They didn't have a budget to come down here. It was alumni, and who had asked me about Grambling, and I didn't really know much about it. And then they, basically talked to the coach, and then my academics, and I was going to Brown. I had a lot of I had a lot of scholarship opportunities, but it wasn't a lot of HBCUs because they just don't have the money to do those kinds of recruitments.
And
so
I'm learning that.
Yeah.
Having this event, so that's why I was.
If they got a game, the coach is already there.
Right.
Tell us about the colleges. Who's coming?
So we have Morehouse.
Morehouse?
Yes. I just got off the phone with TSU.
Tennessee State. Which one? Tennessee State, Texas Southern?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which one? Which one?
And this is for the college fair.
Okay, college fair. We got Morehouse, Tennessee State.
Okay, you got Don. You have Wilberforce. Central State. You have Fisk. You have Simmons College. A lot of people don't know Simmons College is right in Louisville.
Simmons College. I didn't know much about them.
Yeah, they was around. I guess something happened, and now they back.
They're back
because they played in the Classic last year. They ain't played this year, but they'll be back the following year.
Okay, so this is the college fair that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's to me. I'm really focusing on that more than
focus on the college fair. Yeah. Now, who's playing? Are any HBCUs?
Yes. So you got Harris Stowe.
Okay.
That's out of St. Louis.
Harris Stowe. Okay.
Yes. You have Wilberforce.
Russ.
And you have. I can't remember.
Gotta be one more.
You gotta get
one more. Where your teams at on here? I don't see no
Simmons,
teams. It's
Simmons.
Okay, I was like, I don't see no teams on here.
Women. Simmons women. My bad. Yes.
Okay.
So it's 3 games Saturday and 2 games Sunday.
Okay. 3 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
Yes.
And it's all at Whitten Woods High School.
Yeah, so thanks Mr. Smith and Mr. Martin for allowing us to do this. And they're one of the major sponsors, the city of Forest Park.
Shout out to Forest Park, city of Forest Park.
New York Life, Mr. Rucker, the Cochran firm.
Yes, Fanon Rucker, Cochran firm. I saw Fanon walk through there last year.
Well, he was the one that sponsored the Icon Award.
Yes.
And this year he's sponsoring it again.
Okay, now who's the icon? I know who it is, but I'm going to let you say it.
Well, this year, and I'll make the announcement on your show, is Mr. Clyde Bennett.
Clyde Bennett.
Yeah, and he was very honored. And he was like, man, I appreciate this. So,
okay.
We talked. I'm getting all this information together. It's a long list. So when we read it off, we're going to read it off and make sure we get his flowers.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you got a lot going on. This is a busy flyer.
Yes.
A lot going on. It's the HBCU experience. Now, this is your 3rd year. Yes. What would you say? Tell us about the last 2 years. It's grown, but what has been kind of the part that you like the most? What do you want to have come out of this?
Besides the games, I really want to build the college fair. And this year, even CPS has helped out, and they're going to make sure a lot of the CPS athletes and students period get out there, and working with 2 different school districts and they on the same page, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing is the college fair for me this year.
The college fair,
because I want to see us get into a lot of schools, by me having my own recruiting service, so that helps, but it's hard. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of us understand the process or what needs to be done and what it takes. Mm-hmm. So if you can get them in front of the college admission counselors and everything, that makes a big difference.
Tell us about On Impact. What is On Impact?
So On Impact Recruiting Services, once again, I started it because of my daughters, and it happened during COVID. College coaches couldn't come out to see the kids, so I started a recruiting service, and the power of social media. I started live streaming games, so coaches can watch my daughters, and it just caught on fire. Like coaches would DM me and call me and text me, like, "Hey, if you in this area, can you go watch this game? I want to see this player." And then I would go up to that parent and be like, "Hey, this coach asked about your player, or your son or daughter," and just start streaming the games, and it just caught.
Now, are you still streaming games?
Yes. I'm barely in town on weekends.
Okay, so your streaming of games is where all over the country, or
yes.
Okay, and this is high school.
High school. I do prep. I do junior high. I try to catch kids 7th and 8th grade because they recruiting that early now.
Gotcha.
And just once again, just give them the exposure because we don't have the exposure as much.
Yeah.
And I mainly live stream CPS schools because Josh Harding, he really opened the doors up for me, him and Mark, and basically I just get in all the games free.
Gotcha. Now, what is you're telling me? Is it equipment? How do you do this? Is this because I've been, with just really through my brother, Coach Reece, out there when he does the breast cancer awareness classic, and they've got a company, I guess, that comes in with all this. It's almost like the streaming now is different. It's almost like seeing ESPN. You got the people talking. You got the, I
had to
they
start
got recaps. I'm like, where was all this when I was coming up?
Oh yeah, we had VHS tapes when we was coming up. But technology now, they like how you stream it, on your laptop.
Yeah.
I stream on the iPad for the big events. Like this weekend, it's a dance battle at Woodward.
Okay.
It's going to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing my big cameras out for that.
Okay.
To cut the different angles.
Gotcha.
When I'm doing like smaller stuff or just like something real quick, I'll bring my my high density iPad out. What I'm doing now.
Gotcha.
And
so did you go out like buying this equipment, or did you have a background in communications? Or?
Yeah, my major was business communication and marketing.
All right. Okay.
But the way I did it, because my dad used to DJ at like Disco 2000 at Parktown the Night Flight back in the day, so I knew about equipment and audio.
Yeah.
But I just went to all the pawn shops when I was traveling and bought all the iPads. I got like 40 iPads.
Wow.
But I distribute them out to people that are customers that join my recruiting service, the parents, and I say, hey, stream the game. It comes back to me, and then I send it to the college coaches.
Gotcha.
Yes.
What about editing? Do you do editing?
Well, by being a live stream,
no editing needs necessary. Okay.
But the kids can always get on the live stream and go back and make their highlights.
Yeah, that's a big thing now. Everybody, you got to have a highlight reel. Now, some of these highlights, I'm saying, the Coach Reece talked about that on our show. Right. We got to get him back on there, too, talk about this NIL, because I got so many people asking me about it. But he was talking about this, these highlights. It's kind of like Instagram, when you can highlight your photo, or Snapchat. Boy, I'm looking good on the Snapchat, you know what I'm saying? And you can make it what you want to be. It can look like you got your face beat for makeup or whatever. You can make yourself thinner, and it's almost like catfishing, but through highlights.
Right. But the coaches say though, hey.
But they're gonna see eventually. They're gonna see the whole game. I'm just telling everybody.
That's what all coaches say. Send me the game.
They want to see all 4 quarters or 2 halves or whatever you're playing.
How your body language is on the bench and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's talk about getting more kids in college, because that was like my father's and my mother through Communiplex Sports, and we all ended up in sports in some kind of way. Right. I don't play anymore. I love sports. I thought, I was going to be like the Robin Roberts. I wanted to go that way in sports. I was a sports reporter. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for Cincinnati Post, we had 2 daily newspapers here. And I was a sports reporter intern, and I got a lot of stories I was able to write about. But, of course, my brother is a coach and heavily take it to a whole nother level than, my dad did. And he was able to take it to the next level and win a state championship in Florida and coach with the Nike brand. And, he's in the EYBL and all that.
Oh, yeah, he got one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, he's in a whole other, and then I got my nephew, the baby boy of the he hates me to say that, boy. He don't like me coming to the game. He told my baby boy. So I got to quit saying that. But my nephew, who my mom started that when he was born, he is the youngest in the boy in the family. And he's going into his junior year, Jalen Reece. And highly recruited. It's just amazing just how the level has just gone to a whole other level in this sport, in amateur sports and everything. So, and then my sister, she is the first woman assistant director in Cincinnati Recreation Commission history. And she worked from the bottom up as a part-time out of college with the rec centers, and then went to the private sector, nonprofit, came back. It's just her passion for youth, and did some coaching, and she's just taken the whole youth sports, and she's part of the young professionals in sports, women professionals in sports. So we kind of took some of those things that we saw growing up from our parents and and that's why I'm excited about this, because the biggest thing is, how can we get more kids with scholarships so they don't have to pay and go in debt for the education that they're going to need, and they can utilize sports, maybe go to the professional, or even if you don't go to professional, go into this to be able to get you a free education.
Right. I think the first thing when I talk to parents and kids, I say y'all have to be realistic. Everybody's not Power 5. So with that being said, like you and my brother have been talking. My daughters wasn't Power 5. They was D2 and NAIA. So the biggest thing I harped on it was education. Because if you got the grades and the test scores, that's more money. Then you get that athletic side. That's still a full scholarship. No matter how you look at it, you ain't coming out your pocket.
Right. I didn't come out my pocket.
Right.
But then the other thing is sports. So for me, sports got me in the door for Grambling to look at me, but then they saw that I had my academics. But had I never went in the door for the athletic, they would have never even looked. And so they were able to get my academics, which gave me a lot of freedom, because I played in the SWAC, but we had to be voted to play in the NCAA. And I'm like, we done got the SWAC ring. I got to move on. If we can't get to the next level, but I still had a scholarship because my academics, but they would have never looked into the academic probably had I not been someone they looked at for the sports. But, and I wasn't Power 5. I'm not going to, we didn't have WNBA when I was there. I ain't going to, if they had it, I ain't going, and I ain't going overseas. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do my thing, got my, and then it helped me with leadership and teamwork and sometimes you got to lose and get back up. I mean, all of those different things, and it gave me to be a part of something. And it led me to a school that changed my life. Now my niece, the one I told you, two of them are they're twins. They're getting ready to be 14. They're at Princeton, by the way, middle school. I ain't see it. You over here talking, Princeton in the house. I had to change because Princeton. We was battling back then. Yeah, we won the city championship. I ain't gonna let you. But Princeton, it's great. So Tiara plays basketball, and Tiara wants to go to an HBCU. She'll be 14. What advice? And I got my other niece, she's cheering. I want them to go together, but my sister is like, they need to be individuals. I was like, nah, they came together. That's how it was. They came together. I didn't want my daughter to go to the same school either. But one of them is really great at cheer and dance, and the other, she can tumble. And then Tiara wants to go to HBCU. What advice do you have? I was shocked that she told me.
First and foremost, like we said before, grades.
Yes.
Also, there's
and they got good grades because their uncle owed them some money. He should have never bet them on their grades. They're like, we have the straight A's. Where's the money?
I would say there's a great program, and I work with him a lot. Eddie Hawkins.
Yes. That's what my sister Tiffany works with. Yeah, the
tours. Me and my youngest daughter, you would have thought she was an artist. We slept in my truck, took showers and truck stops just to go to as many college visits as possible.
Yeah.
So, things like that make a big difference. And she ended up selecting the school. We went on the first college visit. Mm-hmm. So the other 20 didn't even make a difference. But it was that experience and exposure.
Yeah. Okay, Armand says, speaking to the mic. He's speaking into the mic. Can't you hear him, Armand? Armand Powell, little bit, brother Powell.
Armand, that's my man.
I can't see a thing, y'all, because the doctor put these drops in my left eye. Let's see. Okay, Ozzy said we've been saying the same thing. Y'all on the same page. I don't know, Ermine, why you said check the sound. You can't hear us? I hope you can. I hope y'all can hear. Ozzy can hear us.
Yes.
Turn up your phone, Ermine.
Ozzy is a great mentor also. He does a lot. He helps me out, gave me a lot of advice about, my classic as well as your dad. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for Ozzy, I wouldn't have got next to your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Wing champs.
We love Ozzy.
And Ozzy done seen me on the road, like live streaming, his game. Hey, I ain't know you was coming. Dante, yeah, I'm in the city. I might as well, in and out of town. I'm coming to stream to give my kids some exposure.
Yeah, well, you gotta love it to be.
Yes.
The other thing you gotta tell people, you gotta love it. I mean, you guys will be in the gym all day.
All day.
That's what Thanksgiving we'll be down there with my brother, so unfortunately we won't be here. But I know as soon as we get picked up, we going to the gym.
Yes.
I said, my goodness.
Yes.
And we stand in the gym all day.
And that was one of my biggest things with my daughters and my son. Like, look, I'm paying now. I don't want to pay later.
See, that's the thing. That's what they said about the parents. They paying now, so they don't have to pay later.
That's what it is.
And we got, like you said, be realistic. But there's a school for everybody.
Yes.
There's somebody looking for you out there. You just got to connect with them.
Right. On whatever level, like I said, you just got to be realistic. What level you're on. Listen to the coaches. Listen to your parents. You got to just make sure it's the perfect fit for you. So don't go to Ohio State if you're not an Ohio State player.
Right.
Especially nowadays, you'll end up in the transfer portal or losing the love for the game and dropping out and not getting your degree.
Right. That's the key is
Yes.
getting the degree.
Yes.
It's just to say I went to some place and they not gonna play you. You're not gonna be able to get your degree. That's not cool.
Right.
So there's a school out there looking for you that needs your services. And that's what we've got to, have. And I feel bad. Parents, y'all be everywhere. Boy, it used to be the minivans, but them SUVs be all over the place. I'm trying to get an amateur sports facility built here. Ozzy, we got some people coming in looking at it. I don't know, but I'm hoping we can because we got a lot of talent. All right, everybody, the HBCU experience. It's going to be on November 24th through November 25th. Winton Woods High School. Is there a website people can go to?
Yes, you can go to onimpactrecruitingservices.org, or you can also contact one of my main reps, Maya Parrott. She's in the studio with us right now. She has tickets and all the information.
What's her phone number? Quickly. Or how do you get in touch with you?
She's on Facebook.
She's on Facebook. Yeah. What's her name?
Maya Parrott.
Maya Parrott.
Yeah, the lady promoter.
Lady promoter on Facebook to get tickets. And then we've got 2 pairs of tickets. The first people I got to jump off. But if you call 579-1050, 513-579-1050 right now, 2 pairs of tickets, and y'all can pick it up here at the studio.
Yes.
But you got to pick it up next week, okay?
Yes.
Pick it up next week. You don't pick it up next week, you don't get it. Free tickets to the HBCU 3rd Annual Midwest Regional Experience. Quickly. I can't hear.
We got a national recording artist from Cincinnati who just signed to Pretty Money Records. It's Keon Sierra.
Where is he at?
So we have an artist coming in from New York.
Keon Sierra. Well, national recording artist will also be there.
Yes.
Okay, but y'all can get all the information on the website one more time.
OnImpactRecruitingServices.org.
OnImpactRecruitingServices.org. Dante, thank you for what you're doing. And we got a college fair. No excuses.
Right.
All right, everybody. Until next time, happy Veterans Day. And don't forget the hot sauce. Peace.
I don't know, but I'm about to load them chilies up in that hot sauce.
Stop on that. Thank you. I appreciate it. That was great.
Yeah, no, this is great.